The pyramid in Egypt has prepared a new surprise for us. In England, archaeologists were surprised by an old catapult and a mysterious key. What about a useless mystery mask worth 4 million euros? Watch the video until the end to see new finds from Egypt and Latin America that will surprise you. Hi friend, you are on the KirTop channel. We're looking for theirs, but found someone else's. The Aztec family used a metal detector to search for a lost earring on the island of Jomfruland, located off the southeast coast of Norway. Under one large tree, the device showed the presence of metal. After digging, the family found 2 bronze pieces of jewelry that archaeologists later identified as brooches. One of them is oval. Most likely, it secured the straps of a woman's outfit. The other round brooch was more difficult to identify. The jewelry was engraved with animals and geometric patterns. Experts believe they were previously plated with gold based on traces found on the objects. The find indicates that an aristocratic Viking woman was buried at the site some 1,200 years ago. Tomb of Cerberus. A remarkably well-preserved tomb was recently discovered in the Giugliano area of Campania near Naples during archaeological excavations ahead of the modernization of the city's water supply system. The entrance to the tomb was sealed with a tough slab. The ancient Roman tomb is approximately 2,000 years old. Inside the chamber, there are a huge number of amazing frescoes on the walls. The image of the 3-headed dog Cerberus especially stands out, which is why the tomb was nicknamed Tomb of Cerberus. This mythical creature is known as the Hound of Hades. He guarded the entrance to the underworld and prevented the souls of the dead from leaving. The fresco shows the moment when Hercules, completing his 12 labors, kidnaps Cerberus. The walls also depict mythical scenes with ichthyocentaurs, creatures whose upper body resembles a man and whose lower body resembles a horse with a fishtail. Ancient dice. Research at the Celtic settlement in Samborowice, Silesia, has yielded a unique find, a 2,000-year-old dice, the oldest found in Poland to date. The Celts inhabited regions of modern southern Poland, including the Glubschice Plateau from the 4th to the 2nd century BC. Archaeological excavations in this area have been ongoing for 11 years. The most interesting find of this year was a dice found in a semi-underground building. The dice is made of bone or horn. Archaeologist Sojda says that although such dice are known mainly from settlements in Lower Austria, Bohemia, and Moravia, they are rare in Samborowice. Several years ago, playing chips were found there. A well-preserved iron fibula, a decorative clasp, was also discovered. This unique find is in excellent condition thanks to the protective layer formed when it was exposed to fire. Each year, finds reveal more about the life of the Celts in this region. Cave with primeval ancient forest. In China, researchers have discovered a striking object, a giant karst pit, inside which is hidden an ancient forest unlike any known so far. This geological phenomenon is located in Li County, Guangxi Zhuang. Many similar pits have been found in the area, but the size of this one defies the imagination. This pit has a volume of 5 million cubic meters. Its depth is 192 meters, length 306 meters, and width 150 meters. However, the real miracle is hidden inside. Descending to the bottom, a group of speleologists discovered a stunning forest with ancient trees up to 40 m high. These trees are surrounded by dense undergrowth, almost as tall as a man, indicating a unique ecosystem. Experts from the Institute of Karst Geology believe that plants unknown to science may grow here. This site provides a unique opportunity to study the ancient world and possibly hidden life forms. This ancient forest in a giant karst hole in China is a real mystery to science. Scientists from all over the world are all ready to come for research, possibly discovering new species of plants and animals. Once the research is complete, perhaps the site will be open to tourism, allowing us to see this amazing piece of nature in person. 8 secret rooms in the pyramid. Experts from the Julius Maximilian University of Würzburg, working on the restoration of the Secur Pyramid, discovered 8 previously unexplored rooms. This pyramid, built approximately 4,400 years ago, is the tomb of the Egyptian pharaoh Sahure of the 5th dynasty. Although the site was explored in the 19th and 20th centuries, ongoing work has led to new discoveries. The main task of the researchers was to strengthen the foundation of the pyramid to prevent its further destruction. Thanks to 3D laser scanning technology, detailed plans of the pyramid, including its interior, were drawn up. As a result of the research, a secret corridor was discovered leading to previously unknown rooms. The condition of these premises raises a number of questions, including regarding their original contents. After the discovery of new rooms, restoration work began. Scientists intend to continue studying the pyramid in search of additional discoveries. They believe future discoveries could revise our understanding of the history and architecture of the pyramids. An absolute rarity. In 2022, archaeologists discovered a unique item in a woman's grave, an iron folding chair. After restoration, it was shown to everyone. The find was made in the village of Ensi, Germany, during the excavation of a burial site from the 7th century. The grave contained the remains of a woman aged 40, 50, and a number of artifacts, including a multicolored necklace and brooches. A male burial with luxurious weapons was found nearby, indicating Frankish influence in those days. The restored folding chair was presented at the conference Archaeology in Bavaria. It consists of two parts connected by an axis and is decorated with brass decorations. The pillars show traces of seat fastenings, probably made of fur. Such chairs are rare in burials. The find indicates the high social status of the deceased. In Europe, only 29 graves with similar chairs are known, and only 6 of them are made of iron. Professor Matthias Feil expressed delight at the find, emphasizing its historical value. He noted its importance for understanding the socio-cultural aspects of the early Middle Ages. This chair is a testament to the rich history hidden beneath the earth. Carved snakehead. Tenochtitlan, the ancient center of Mexico City, was once the heart of the Triple Alliance and had between 200,000 and 400,000 inhabitants. However, the arrival of the Spaniards led to mass deaths from smallpox. Now, centuries later, an amazing find has been discovered in the city center, an Aztec snakehead measuring 1.8 by 1 meter. Due to the characteristics of the soil, many details of the artifact were preserved. The researchers were amazed to see that 80% of the carvings were still covered in bright pigments: ochre, red, blue, black, and white. This is a reflection of how Mexicans decorated their temples and religious images. To preserve rare pigments, scientists use a special chamber, the work in which will last until 2024. This artifact reminds us of the greatness of the ancient Aztecs and allows us to see a world full of bright colors and finest art. This discovery connects us to the culture and history of Tenochtitlan and adds new pieces to the mosaic of human history. The discovery of the Aztec snake shows how much remains to be learned about ancient civilizations. Buried catapult. Archaeologists in England have discovered a unique technical miracle, an experimental catapult for launching bombers into the atmosphere. An RAE Mark III catapult was discovered in the southeast of England in Oxfordshire. Created between 1938 and 1940, it was designed to save fuel and reduce the need for long runways during war. In 1941, it was mothballed and a regular runway was built on top. Despite its short career, the catapult played a key role in the development of ejection mechanisms. The main idea was to launch aircraft from ships, which provided a strategic advantage during the war. The catapult was excavated at the Garwell Science Campus, where researchers saw its internal structure, a huge circular pit with a turntable on top. The plane was heading to one of 2 short runways, only 82 meters long, which is several times less than modern standards. The bombers were launched using an underground pneumatic mechanism powered by 12 Rolls-Royce Kestrel aircraft engines. However, the catapult did not live up to expectations. It did not meet bomber requirements and did not perform as planned. After the war, the site was used to store radioactive waste. An additional takeoff point and artillery installation were also found on the territory. For a detailed analysis, scientists created a 3D model of the catapult. The RAE Mark III catapult is a clear indication of the technological progress of the time. Despite its failure, it became a stepping stone in the development of ejection systems during World War II. Unique antique key. An archaeological team has discovered a stunning artifact near Claverham, North Somerset, UK, a majestic medieval key with an extraordinary design that acts as a portal to the past. Excavations were carried out nearby the 19th century manor of Court de Vic. Researchers discovered walls that were likely part of the main building. In the area of one of the walls, dating from the post-medieval era, a key with a complex pattern was found. This item is identified as a turning key used to turn and unlock locks, originally made from wood in ancient Babylon and Egypt. Roman craftsmen made significant improvements in the production of keys, making them more compact and durable. Its design and dimensions are similar to the London Type 6 keys, but smaller in size. It is unclear what object this key belonged to, but its discovery provides new insight into medieval art and craftsmanship. Mysterious gold foil figures. During road construction work at Wingram, near Lillehammer, the remains of an ancient temple containing rare gold artifacts were discovered. These gold objects date back to the era of the Merovingians, who ruled in the 5th to 8th centuries in the territory of modern France, Belgium, parts of Germany, and Switzerland. The total number of gold objects found reached 35. Despite their small size, these square coins surprise with their detailed execution. On them, you can see images of people in luxurious outfits. Archaeologists from the Norwegian Museum of Cultural History claim that the coins were made of extremely thin gold sheet on which detailed figures are depicted. Some of the images may represent the god Frey and his wife Gerd from Norse mythology. These artifacts were likely used in religious ceremonies or as temple money. Despite their incredible detail, these coins do not have holes, indicating that they were not used as jewelry. Stone with a human face. In 1872, a mysterious artifact was discovered, which still does not give exact answers about its origin. When Seneca Ladd of Meredith decided to fence off his property, workers found a strange object in the clay. Made from dark quartzite and shaped like an egg, this stone features a human face and symbols such as a wigwam and arrows. Many speculated that the item was created by Native Americans. In 1931, a theory arose that it could be the Celtic thunderstone, a mythical object that supposedly falls from the heavens. In the past, such stones found on Earth were considered signs from the gods or the elements. The artifact is now in a museum where visitors can see it in person. However, its real history and purpose still remain unknown. What do you think? What is the real history of this item? Ancient Roman refrigerator. Archaeologists from the University of Warsaw, excavating a Roman military settlement in modern Bulgaria, found an ancient analog of a refrigerator. This artifact was discovered in Novia, a 1st century AD fortress located near the Danube River. Researchers studied the settlement's water supply and discovered the first water well, as well as a system of aqueducts made of ceramics and lead. Next to the lead pipe, archaeologists found a box made of ceramic slabs. According to scientists, its location and materials helped cool food. This is the second such refrigerator found during recent excavations. Inside it, fragments of dishes, bowls, and animal bones were found. These refrigerators date back to the late Civil period. A 4th century fireplace, well-preserved wine vessels, and a silver pendant in the shape of a mouse were also found at the excavation site. Novae was founded by the troops of Augustus around 45 AD to suppress the uprising of Thrace and played a key role in the Second Dacian campaign of Trajan. Over time, the settlement was rebuilt from stone and became a civil city. Today, Novae is open to the public. Polish and Bulgarian archaeologists have been excavating there since the mid-1960s. Book of the Dead and Royal Burials. Tuna el Gebel was once the cemetery of Mun, or Hermopolis Magna, and is the most significant Greco-Roman necropolis in Egypt, with a history dating back to the New Kingdom and continuing into the Roman era. The Egyptian Ministry of Tourism and Antiquities has announced a recent discovery, a New Kingdom cemetery in Tuna el Gebel. Led by Dr. Mostafa Vaziri, a team of archaeologists illuminated the secrets of this amazing site. They discovered many rock-cut tombs containing stone and wooden sarcophagi. Major finds include funerary amulets, precious stones, gold items, and ushabti, figurines depicting influential officials, including Jehutimes, responsible for the bulls of the Temple of Amun, and Nani, the singer of Amun. The artifacts reflect the status and beliefs of the New Kingdom elite. An interesting find was a papyrus about 15 meters long associated with the Book of the Dead, an ancient Egyptian funerary text. This document includes magical spells aimed at helping the deceased on their way to the other world. Useless mask for 4.2 million euros. A couple from Montpellier, France decided to tidy up their home in 2021 and accidentally discovered an antique mask. Deciding to get rid of it, they offered it to an antique dealer for 150 euros. It was later discovered that the mask was a valuable piece of 19th century African art used by the Fangs of Gabon. There are only a few such masks in the world. At auction, it was sold for 4.2 million euros. Having learned about the value of the item, the couple decided to file a claim against the antique dealer, accusing him of withholding information. They demanded more than 5 million euros from him. On the other hand, documents showed that the antique dealer, initially unaware of the cost of the mask, decided to consult auction houses, where its price was estimated at only 600 euros. The antique dealer, not believing the specialist from the auction house, decided to conduct a radiocarbon study, which confirmed its historical value. Later, the mask was put up for auction and sold for the mentioned amount. The family claimed that the antique dealer bribed their gardener to learn more about the origins of the mask. They also said that the antique dealer offered them a compromise of $315,000, but they refused, following the advice of their children. The court of first instance ruled in favor of the antique dealer, but the case is still being considered by the appellate court. The current situation remains unclear, but funds from the sale of the mask have been temporarily seized. Who do you think is right in this situation? A couple who sold a mask for 150 euros or an antique dealer who made a fortune from it? Write your opinion in the comments. Bright paint of the Parthenon marble. For centuries, the Parthenon marbles in the British Museum sparkled bright white. But like many sculptures praised for their simplicity, these works were once brightly colored. Previously, there were no traces of paint on the 2,500-year-old sculptures. Now, scientists have found many remaining traces of dyes. The researchers analyzed the sculptures using a luminescent imaging technique developed by Giovanni Verri. This method recognizes traces of Egyptian blue, an artificial pigment. The team found Egyptian blue on 11 sculptures and one figure. This pigment is present on the belt of the goddess Iris, on the legs of another figure, and on the crests of the waves from which the god Helios emerges. They also found traces of white and purple pigments. A detailed examination of the sculptures showed that the craftsmen carefully conveyed textures, such as leather or wool. The discovered traces of pigment showed that some of the sculptures were of very high quality and richly painted. Such research helps historians better understand ancient art. This proves that the ancient world was more complex than we thought. Mummy covered with gold. Archaeologists have discovered a 4,300-year-old mummy completely wrapped in gold near the step pyramids. It may be the oldest ever found. The man, who was named Hecashepes, was found in a limestone sarcophagus at a depth of 15 meters. In addition, archaeologists have found magnificent life-size statues depicting servants, men, women, and families. All these finds date back to the period of the 5th and 6th dynasties and were found 30 kilometers south of Cairo. They are expected to help attract tourists to the region. The excavations were carried out on the territory of Saqqara, which is part of the huge necropolis of the ancient capital of Egypt, Memphis. The famous pyramids of Giza and other pyramids at Abu Sir, Dashur, and Abu Ruwaish are located here. The region was recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site in the 1970s. 2 wells were discovered at the excavation site. One of them contained the remains of Hecashepes, and the second led to 3 more tombs and numerous statues. In one of them rested Mary, the keeper of secrets, who worked at the court of the ancient pharaoh and had access to extremely valuable documents. Mary knew the art of writing in a society where the majority were illiterate. In another well, they found wooden statues and a number of amulets, as well as statues of the god Ptah Saker. The stage where Shakespeare performed. At St. George's Town Hall in Norfolk, England, archaeologists have discovered a unique 15th century wooden stage. According to experts, it was on this stage that the great playwright William Shakespeare could have performed. Medieval oak floorboards were found under 2 layers of later flooring. The uppermost one was laid in the 1950s and the lower one in the 18th and 19th centuries. These 15th century boards are notable for the fact that they were secured not with metal but with wooden pegs, which is typical for medieval buildings. Laboratory analysis using dendrochronology showed that the boards dated between 1417 and 1430. Despite being a century before Shakespeare's birth, St. George's Town Hall is one of the oldest and best preserved medieval buildings in England. The town hall was originally built by the Guild of St. George in the early 15th century and was used for religious services. But by 1445, it had become a venue for theatrical performances. In 1593, when London's theaters were closed due to the plague, Shakespeare's troupe performed here. Historic buildings expert Dr. Jonathan Clark highlights the importance of the find as the only surviving example of a stage where Shakespeare may have played. Mysterious time capsule. For more than 200 years, the statue at the United States Military Academy in West Point, New York, kept a secret. Hidden in its marble base was a mysterious time capsule. Workers discovered it during recent restoration work. The capsule was hermetically sealed, and attempts to see its contents using X-rays were unsuccessful. It is believed that cadets hid the capsule in the monument in 1828. Once discovered, current students made guesses about its contents. Is there a diary, a map, a table set, or maybe another smaller time capsule? The Academy hosted an opening presentation this week, which was broadcast live on YouTube. Finally, the masked scientists carefully opened the capsule. There was only silt inside. Perhaps there was something there before, but over time it decomposed. The next day in the laboratory, archaeologist Paul Hudson discovered 6 American silver coins and a medal in honor of the Erie Canal hidden in the sediment. These artifacts dated from 1795 to 1828, confirming speculation about the time when the capsule was hidden. The monument is dedicated to Tadeusz Kościuszko, a Polish military engineer who fought in the Revolutionary War. The statue was removed for restoration in 2021, but the capsule was only discovered now. Its analysis continues. Scientists are trying to understand the origin of the mud and the purpose of creating this time capsule. As you can see, history is still full of secrets, and each new discovery helps us better understand past eras. Also, these finds and discoveries remind us of the greatness of ancient civilizations. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumb up and subscribe to our channel. Thanks for your views. Bye, everyone.